Hello, today I'm sharing the best eye and lip products and tools that I discovered in 2021. I have eyeshadow palettes, single eye products, eyeliners, lip liners, lipsticks. If it has to do with the eyes, the face, or tools to apply those products, it is in this video if I felt like it was better than other products that I tried in 2021. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Let's go ahead and get into these eye and lip products and tools that I loved within the past year. I have a few eyeshadow palettes to share with you, but since it seems to be the year of Dior, I'm going to start there with the Warm Neutrals Backstage eyeshadow palette. I know I'm late to the game on this, but I discovered it in 2021 and I'm so glad that I did finally try it because this is one of the easiest everyday neutral eyeshadow palettes that I own. I reach for it a lot. I was really skeptical of this eyeshadow primer taking up real estate in a palette, but I have to say I actually really like having it in here. It's a great primer. It keeps me from having to use another primer separately, which saves a little bit of time. I'm all for saving time. And even though this is called Warm Neutrals, I feel like it's more neutral / warm, so you can get a variety of looks from it. I love it. And I also have the Dior Backstage Bronze Neutrals. This is a limited edition holiday palette. I really like this color scheme. This black and dark brown, they are fantastic to line with. So you may want to scoop this up before it goes away because I love this color story. It's unique and it just works. The quality of these palettes makes them super easy to use very quickly, which I really appreciate. The mattes and the shimmers are just fantastic. So glad I finally bit the bullet and picked this up last year. You know, my Tarte in Bloom palette is in heavy rotation constantly. It has been for years, but it's been a long time since a Tarte palette has been in my yearly favorites videos until now. I have two in this video. The new Tarte Full Bloom, which is an expansion of In Bloom, but there's no duplicate shades. And then we have the Tartelette Juicy palette. I love both of these for neutral everyday palettes. They give me more options at my fingertips, which I love. I can get complete looks and a variety of looks. So this is the Juicy palette. I love the quality of the mattes and the shimmers in here. This is a nice subtle daily palette. I think some people thought this was going to be just a rosy palette, but it's not. I mean, if you cover up those rosy shades on the bottom, you get some nice neutrals up there. So it does give you a nice variety. I find the mattes to be very creamy in this palette, which I love. And as much as I love putting shimmer on my lid, I've been wearing quite a few matte looks lately, all matte. So I really appreciate when mattes are really good in a palette. So the Full Bloom palette, I mean, this is so pretty. Each of these, I think all of the palettes that I'm showing in this video would make great gifts. I know we're past Christmas, but I mean, you know, people have birthdays. So this is Full Bloom. And I mean, talk about variety. I'm hoping it's not reflecting too much in the light. There we go. This is a fantastic neutral palette. I mean, you can go from cool all the way to warm here. The shimmers are great. The mattes are beautiful and blendable. You can get complete looks with this because you have deeper shades all the way to light shades. I like to have comprehensive palettes like this sitting on my vanity that I can reach for, just no-brainer palettes. And to me, either one of these is just fantastic to have in your collection or both, like I do, because I do reach for them for different types of looks. My top 10 best drugstore makeup purchases of 2021 is already out. So if you haven't seen that, I'll have it linked down below, as well as everything I'm sharing in this video and what I'm wearing. And it will be linked at the end of the video, so you can go catch it once you finish this one. I had to be pretty picky for that video because it was only 10 products. So there are some drugstore products in these other best of videos. Flower Beauty showed up a few times in that video, but this palette is here in my best of eye video because this quality is so high-end, it's unbelievable. So this is the Flower Beauty Desert Lights palette. Now, this color story, I don't know if it was limited edition, if they're going to restock it or not. I almost didn't show it because I can't find this one, but there is a Jungle Lights palette that has this same metallic liquid look. There are high-end shadows that don't give this kind of effect. So just to show you, I'm just gonna take my fingers in a few of these and swipe them on the back of my hand. That's perfection, and they apply to your lid the same way. You don't get a ton of fallout. They just look so beautiful. I do plan on picking up the Jungle Lights palette. I wanted to show this because if you're wanting that kind of effect, I think the color story in Jungle Lights is really, really pretty. So even though you can't pick this one up, you can still get the same formula in the Jungle Lights palette with some beautiful colors. I am so glad that I tried this because these are truly some of the best metallic shimmers that are flattering that I've used. Another affordable palette, especially for the size, that I've been really impressed with this year is from ColourPop. I know that's not a surprise coming from me because I typically have great luck with most ColourPop palettes, especially these larger ones. This is the Play It Jewel palette. I don't know why I'm turning that upside down like there's a mirror in here, but I mean, look at all you get for the price, and the quality is really great. I use this a lot to even just pull the neutrals out, but this is a great palette to give you color if you're someone who's a little bit nervous about it, but you want to play around. Again, you can get complete looks from neutral to colorful looks. You can line, you can highlight your brow bone, you can do everything with this palette. They have another one that came out this year too. I'll put it up here in the corner. I can't remember the exact name of it. I didn't pick that one up, but it looks really pretty as well. I was really, really happy to add this to my neutral bigger palettes collection because I absolutely love and use the Stone Cold Fox and Bare Necessities palettes all the time, and this one fit in perfectly with more color. This was a late discovery for me in 2021. I regret waiting so long to get it because it's in heavy rotation. It has my fingerprints all over it because I used it today on my eyes. This is the Natasha Denona Retro palette in this beautiful rose gold packaging. Now this does have some red and rusty and purple tones throughout, but it also has this really pretty taupey shade and then this kind of brownish bronzy shade. I use this as a one and done on my lids quite a lot. I love this shade. This is a great one and done, and so is this right here. I love the different textures she puts in her palettes. What you see here isn't necessarily what you think you're going to get. Some of these darker shades are a little bit more sheer, so you can actually use them in your transition. Some are more pigmented. She has, you know, some metallics and toppers and shimmers. I just love all the different textures that she puts into her palettes. I actually started out with an all matte look today. I wasn't going to wear shimmer. I had this on my lid, but I ended up topping it with this just for a little something something. I'm actually filming my best of 2021 skincare and hair care and fashion lifestyle video after this one, and I'm thinking I may just go in with this one as a one and done for that video. So if you want to see that as a one and done, be sure and catch that video. It'll be going up in a few days. I love this. I'm so glad I got it. I have had such great success with Natasha Denona in general, and this one is no exception. I was actually going to save these for my December, January favorites, but they need to be in my yearly favorites because I think the iconic London Glaze crayons are fantastic. I started trying them out, I want to say late November. So the reason why I think they're so good is because they're so easy. So each one has this crayon that you can literally just color on your eyelid and blend out the edges however you want. You can leave it kind of opaque or sheer it out. But the other end is this liquid shimmer product. I feel like they call it a liquid glitter, but I would not call these glittery. They're very, very flattering. So you can apply them by themselves or you can apply it over the crayon. I'm going to put swatches here on the screen of every single shade. It doesn't matter what shade you get. It's all your preference. I just think these are fantastic. If you're someone who wants an easy to apply crayon for every day, if you're someone who wants something for a special event and you want that glitter formula that's not chunky and that's not going to sprinkle glitter all over your face. It sets down beautifully, it gives a lovely look, and it stays all night long. I have been so impressed with these. I just think the versatility is great. I love a multitasking product. Iconic London has done it in an amazing way, and I did discover these in 2021. They had to be in this video. My Eyeliner of the Year award goes to Too Faced Killer Liner. I almost put another one in here too, but I thought, you know what? We're just narrowing this one down to one because it is that good. So I started out with the kind of chocolatey mid-tone brown shade. I want to say it was espresso. And then I bought two more. I can't find that initial shade anywhere. This rental house is like a black hole. I lose things and then I find them days later, and that's what happened with that shade. So the two shades that I'm holding are Killer Chocolate and Killer Storm. What I love about these, I'll show you with the chocolate, is how they just glide on. There is no tugging whatsoever. You have time to work with them and smudge them if you like to smudge your eyeliner like I do. Here's Killer Storm. That wasn't the pencil skipping right there. That was me. I apparently can't talk and do swatches at the same time. I'm gonna layer over Storm a little bit just to show you you can actually layer over it, and it layers over itself really well. Okay, this looks like a 3-year-old did this Storm swatch, but you can see the two shades here. This gray shade is a nice deep gray. I've been using these a ton. They do last all day and all night. When I initially got them, I was a little concerned because the reviews are so mixed. They're actually not that great, but it turns out that people think you can't sharpen them because these have that plasticky pencil. It's not like a normal pencil that you sharpen. So people think you can't sharpen them. You can sharpen them with a pencil sharpener very easily. There's no struggle whatsoever. If you do have an issue sharpening these for some reason, it's not the pencil, it's the sharpener. Definitely just try a different sharpener, get a new one. These are fantastic. I'm so glad I tried them. For some reason, I never tried Wander Beauty Mile High Club mascara until this year. I don't know why, because the Unlashed mascara has been a favorite of mine for a couple of years now. So I decided to try it. The Unlashed is actually a volume and curl mascara with a curved wand, and the Mile High Club is a volume and lengthening mascara. I was actually surprised at how small the wand was because I feel like with a lot of volumizing and lengthening mascaras, the wand is really big and fat, but this one does give my sparse thin lashes nice volume, nice length with a lovely little wand that doesn't make a mess, and I can use it on my lower lashes. I find with a lot of fat wands, I can't use them on my lower lashes. It doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge. So this is another mascara favorite from Wander Beauty. This brand in general is pretty underrated, but these mascaras in particular are super underrated. I'm really glad I finally tried this. Did I say that already? Because I am. In 2021, there were two brow products that stood out to me more than the rest. One of them is in my top 10 drugstore products video, so if you want to see the other one, check that video out. But this one belongs here. It is from IT Cosmetics. It's their Brow Power Micro Pencil. I just recently shared this, I think in Holy Grail Makeup Products That I Replaced video, because this has replaced what was my Holy Grail, the Hourglass Micro Brow Arch Pencil. And the reason why is because it's basically the exact same shape. It's that really small micro dash shape that basically allows me to create a brow hair very quickly because it is shaped like a dash versus a point, and because it's so tiny. It's not fat. But there's something about this shade, I think it's a Universal Taupe, that works better for me, and I find that it's a little bit more pigmented. I'm really glad that I tried it, and I've been using it every single day on my sparse, uneven brows. Moving on to lips, starting with lip liner. Now, just so you know, I am in my mid-40s, so my lips are not getting any fuller on their own. They have deflated since I was in my 20s and 30s. The pigmentation has also gotten uneven around the perimeter of my lip line. I use lip liner to even out that pigmentation, sometimes to make my lips look a little bit fuller. I also fill in my lips with said lip liner when I'm using it because it not only helps the lip product I place on top to last longer, but it kind of helps fill in those little vertical lip lines, if you're using the right lip liner, that is. I tried a lot of lip liners in 2021, and these few are the ones that stood out to me the most. I'm going to start with Persona. She launched her lip liners in 2021 with, I believe, 4 shades. I'm going to focus on 2 of them. that I wear the most. Because I have two shades, I went ahead and swatched Almond here, which is kind of a brownie nude. The second shade I have is called Dusk, and I just wanted you to see how creamy it is and how it just glides on your lips, which is great if you aren't 20 anymore, if you have vertical lip lines like I do, and if you just don't want lip liners that are dry and tug. This is a great formula. There's really nice opacity to it, and because it's creamy, you can wear it on its own, and I find it's really comfortable. Even by itself, if you have lip product that's kind of worn away on the top, if you're left with just this, it's just fine. I don't have a problem with it. I love the formula. Great launch from Persona in 2021. I've raved quite a bit lately about the next two, so I'll keep these brief, but I have to put them in here because they are top discoveries for me overall, not just for lips, in 2021. So this is the lip pencil from Makeup by Mario in the shade Hue specifically, which is my exact lip shade color. When I first applied it, I thought I wasn't getting any pigment from it at all, but then I realized it was the exact shade of my lips, which is perfect because I said earlier, I don't have the same pigmentation I used to. So this helps me get that. It's not darker than my lips. It's not pinker or browner or lighter. It's just perfect. And it's creamy and comfortable, which is kind of the issue I've had with some pencils that have been close to my natural lip color before. So you can see this is a little bit lighter and less pink than Dusk from Persona. There's a place for both of them for sure. I like to wear this even when I'm wearing very sheer lip products on top, which I do have in this video too, because it just makes my natural lips look fuller and more even. So glad I found this shade, this product last year. It's been fantastic. Now we have Huda Beauty Lip Contour in the shade Honey Beige. This was such a surprise for me, and I swear all of these are so creamy, but there's something about this one in particular that just glides on like silk. I do want to try more shades in this formula. Like I almost can't even feel it when I apply it to my hand. That swatch was not great, so I'm just adding a little bit to the top there. So just to show you these shades close up, there's the Honey Beige right there. It's a little bit lighter of a brownie neutral than the Almond from Persona, which I like. I like having that variety. I just love having different options of lip liners for the different shades and intensities of lip products that I put on top of them. This shade in particular is perfect for those lighter nudes, those lighter peachy nudes. I love it. I love the formula. If you have tried any of the products in this video, leave me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, or if I need to try more shades specifically, I would love to hear that too. Okay, I love me some lip products. It was really hard for me to narrow things down for this video. I have talked about numerous lip products in 2021 that I love. I clearly couldn't put them all in my yearly favorites. So if you're not seeing something I've talked about, it doesn't mean I don't love that product. It just means these made more of an impression on me for various reasons. I still love those other products. So I think I'm going to go from less pigmented to more pigmented. That just seems to make sense logically. I wasn't sure what order to go in. So I'm going to start with clear balm and then go to more tinted products, and then to lipsticks, that kind of thing. I'm going to start with the Laneige Lip Treatment Balm, which I got on board with late. I tried it way later than everyone else did, just like a lot of other products in these videos. I wasn't quite sure how this is going to be different than the lip sleeping mask from Laneige, which I also love and comes in different flavors. So this has a kind of coconut scent to it and a pearlescent quality, not only in the package, but also on your lips. It just gives them a really flattering look. I use it during the day and at night. I also really love this little handy applicator that's included because I don't always like getting my fingers messy in pots like this. It just slips right in there and snaps in. Really handy. This has coconut oil and peptides that help nourish and hydrate and smooth the lips and plump and help with those lip lines that we have as we get older. I've really enjoyed this. this. I find that it really just works well on my lips, no matter if I'm wearing it during the day or at night. I love the texture and the formula, and I'm so glad that I finally decided to try it because I reach for it often. It has worked its way into my life and I love it. The Lord Jones CBD lip balm is a sleeper hit for me. It kind of rose in the ranks out of nowhere. So I had this in my bathroom to try out if my other lip balms weren't in there. I would reach for it here and there. Well, somehow my regular staple lip balms had gotten placed elsewhere in this house, and this was all that was in there. And so I started using this more and more at night, and I was realizing that my lips just were in really great condition. This is a really nice lip balm, especially if you do find yourself getting really chapped, dry lips. It kind of fixed them for me at one point. I love how slim it is, and I love the slant. I feel like there's a very, very faint CBD scent to it, but it is so faint, I thought it was unscented until just now when I stuck my nose there. I mean, I've applied this a lot and I just don't notice a scent. I don't notice a taste. Actually, most Lord Jones products have been really great that I've tried. I mean, they're meant to help you heal and feel better, and I feel like this does that. I was trying to stick to only one pot lip balm, but I needed to just give a quick shout out to the BareMinerals Ageless Phyto-Retinol Lip Mask. Now, if you're someone who maybe didn't get along well with that Laneige product because maybe the coolness, it's not really minty or hot or anything like that, but maybe the coolness of it you just didn't really enjoy, and you want something that is going to be really great for anti-aging, this is a great product. I mean, I've clearly used it a lot. There's no scent to it, no discernible scent anyway, and it's got really nice ingredients. I love BareMinerals. This is a great product. There's a stick format too if you want something a little more portable. I had to put this in here. I have lip balms everywhere, so that's why you'll typically see me talk about lip balms a lot. I go through them a lot, and this one is fantastic as well. I 100% feel like Too Faced Hangover Pillow Balms are completely underrated. I don't hear a lot of people talking about these, except for maybe right when they first came out. The people that do talk about them, like myself, really love them. The ratings are really high. So these are very nourishing, like the other balms that I've shown, but these have a little bit of pigment to them and they smell so good depending on which one you use. This is the watermelon one. God, it smells good. And of course they taste good too. It doesn't really matter which one you get, just get whatever your preference is. So these, like the other balms that I showed you, nourish the lips. These have, I think, coconut oil, avocado, shea butter, but unlike the ones before, these have kind of a milky pigmentation that's very sheer. Plus they have a really fun scent and taste to them. So this one is watermelon, there's banana and mango and cocoa. The smell just reminds me of something from when I was a kid. I just find these really fun to use. So you see that kind of swipe of milky pink that just applied. When I apply these over my naked lips, they give them a little something more. And there's a little bit of a mintiness there that just, I don't know, feels really good and nourishing. And plus they smell good and taste good. Or I can apply them over another lip color and they work too. And I just love these. There's something just so fun and different about them. I think these would be really fun for, you know, somebody in college or a teenager too, even though, you know, I'm 46 and I really like them too. I love it when a gloss gives me more than just a gloss formula, when they nourish and provide just great ingredients like a balm does. I don't like sticky glosses. You know, the formula has to be a certain way. NARS Afterglow Lip Shines are that. I have a ton of shades here. It really doesn't matter the shade that you choose. The shade that I am going to apply over my newly blotted lips is called Unbroken. There's no scent to these and they apply effortlessly and they do give some pigmentation. So you're not just getting a clear, slightly tinted gloss. You're getting something from the shade that you get. There's slip to them and they just give me everything that I want. I mean, look at that finish. It's really pretty. These are products that I feel like are under the radar and they're really, really good. NARS has some great products and I can't get enough of these. I've talked on my channel plenty of times about the BareMinerals Gloss-Balms. These are that same type of formula that just give you nourishment, pigmentation, and, you know, a non-sticky gloss that wears well. For this video, I'm focusing on two shades that I wear the most, the shade Heart and Adventure, which does not look like a typical shade, but I want you to see it over my newly blotted lips, how pretty it actually is. So here they are swatched. This is Heart and this is Adventure. Do you see how pretty this shade is? It's got a little bit of sparkle to it that doesn't appear or feel as sparkle. The slight sheerness to it doesn't end up too brown on your lips. It looks kind of special. I love the slanted tip. There is a slight sweetness to these that is really nice. It's not overwhelming, at least not in my opinion. I love the formula, love the way they feel, love the way they wear. There's nothing not to like about these, and I love having something nourishing on my lips during the day as well as at night, and these are perfect. Moving on to stick formulas, but sticking with balms before I move on to lipsticks. So Persona also launched her E-Balm this year, and I'm focusing on a specific shade that for me was lacking, and I love her formula for this. I just had never found a red balm that gave me the look that I wanted until she came out with the shade Manifest. Now her other shades are really great too, but I really like this for a red. A lot of sheer reds can go hot pink on me, and this one doesn't. It still gives me that sheer stain look, but it feels very nourishing. It lasts a decent amount of time for this type of product, and it stays red. I don't need a red lip liner under it at all. I can still get that kind of sheer look. Again, she has other colors, but this is just the one I wanted to focus on. And for a nude, I wanted to focus on the YSL, I think this is called their Shine Lipstick Balm. Again, all the products will be linked down below for the exact names and all that. The shade that I have is 123, which is just a really pretty nude. I had removed that red balm off, the Persona off with a makeup wipe, and so this is just over my naked lips, which were kind of pink just from removing other lip products. But this is what it looks like. I love the color. I love the way it feels. It's nourishing. I mean, this is kind of a theme with all these balm products. There is a slip to it that I just love. Now, this doesn't last all day. I don't mind carrying it around with me because I just love the look of it. It also lasts a little bit longer if I wear it under the Huda Beauty Honey Beige. I love those two paired together. All right, it's time for regular lipsticks. I'm going to start with BK Beauty. I have the shade Kindness on my lips now. I just love it. This is the swatch right here. Next to it, I have the shade Acceptance. These are the two shades that I wear the most often, although I'll say her shades are really nice. You can see them all through the link down below. Now, I do love the packaging. It feels really good in the hand. It feels luxurious. Plus, she has that lovely magnetic lid that so many of us enjoy. The formula is nourishing and creamy, and I would say the finish is kind of a satin finish. It's not matte, but it's not really, you know, super shiny either. It's just really flattering. I feel like it minimizes my lip lines and helps my lips look a little bit fuller, and I feel like they wear a decent amount of time. They wear away gracefully, but it takes them a really long time to wear away completely. They kind of end up wearing into a stain of sorts. This is a really great formula, a great launch in 2021. This little YSL mini is hands down one of my favorite wearable everyday pinks that I've discovered ever, much less within the past year, because it's not too pinky. It doesn't come out bubblegum. It's got a neutral tone to it that leans pink, and I love the formula. It feels good. It's flattering. I got this in a Sephora sampler set. If that's still available, I'll link that too. I definitely intend to get a full size of this when this is gone because I love this so much. I feel like this is a pink for non-pink wearers like myself. Despite having discovered the Chanel Ultra Tenue, the long-wearing double-ended lipsticks that I love so much in 2020, I would say 2021 has been the year of Chanel lipsticks for me. So I have all the shades I have in front of me on my hand. I'm missing one. It's lost somewhere somewhere in the black hole that is this rental. It's in this house, I just don't know where. So I have one on my lips now that is in the Rouge Allure formula that's in this snazzy case that you press in to get it out. It's so cool. So the shade that I had on for the duration of this video, the pinker shade, it's kind of a neutral pink, is called Sensible. It is from this line, which I would say is their more traditional lipstick line. It has kind of a satin velvet finish. The shade that I have on now is also from this line, and it's called Rouge Angelique. I got this because I read that it was one of Margot Robbie, or is it Robbie? One of her favorite nudes ever, and I really do love it. This formula is so good if you just want a traditional formula that is somehow elevated more than most. It wears longer, it just looks really pretty on my lips without being super shiny, and it's comfortable. So moving forward with one of my favorite nude lip colors of all time, it's in the Rouge Coco formula, which is a little bit more sheer than this formula, but it's not sheer. This has more shine to it. This is called Adrienne or Adrienne. I bought this because this is one of Jennifer Aniston's favorites, or it used to be, and I love it. It is so flattering. So this just has traditional lipstick packaging, but if you want a very flattering neutral beige, I just don't think you could go wrong with the shade Adrienne, or any shade really. If you're wanting a totally different color, that's fine too. So this shade and formula right here is the sheerest, and it wears the least amount of time out of all of them. So I love it, but it's not the one that I reach for the most. So this is the iconic shade Boy in the Rouge Coco Flash formula. So it's got kind of a flat top like that, and I do like it. I just have not worn this nearly as much. It's pretty new to me. But if I were choosing between the Rouge Coco Flash formula and the Rouge Coco Bloom formula, I would hands down choose the Rouge Coco Bloom because you do get more pigment, and they also last a surprisingly long time. I mean, a really long time, especially for a balm-like formula. So the two shades that I have swatched here are Zenith and Chance. The shade that I can't find is one of my favorites, and it's called Dream. So the packaging is the same as the Rouge Coco Flash, except you have silver instead of gold. And I do love that you can see through the top, so you can actually see your shade through the lid. I think that's really cool. I basically discovered Chanel lipsticks in 2021, and this brand is the one that I reach for the most out of all my other ones. There's something about their formulas that is just perfection. They have figured it out and they have different formulas to suit different needs. The pigmentation is beautiful, the shades are beautiful, and some of the formulas like the Rouge Allure and the Rouge Coco Bloom really last a long time and stay comfortable while they're doing it. Sometimes you think a luxury brand is going to be all hype when it comes to something like this, but not in my experience. These are really good. This has also been the year of Rephr for me, not just brushes, but also their eyelash curler. It is my favorite. It completely trumped my Shiseido eyelash curler that I was using for over 20 years. It fits my eye shape perfectly. It curls instead of crimps. It doesn't dig in at the corners. It's just the perfect eyelash curler for me. They also came out with a modular vanity system to store your makeup. You can rearrange it however you want. That's what I store my makeup in on this table that's right here in front of me. I look at it and use it every day. As I do these brushes, I reach for these daily. I will list down below my most used brushes because to go through every single one of these is just going to be just crazy long. But I will say for the face brushes in general, there's a softness here that I just love. I just can't get over how soft they are, how perfectly they lay down pigment. I mean, I'll say that about the eye brushes too. These are some of the smallest eyeliner brushes I've ever found that really work well and don't scratch at my eyes or anything. They're pretty much all I reach for when I'm lining my eyes. I smudge my eyeliner a lot. Sometimes I tight line, I get that eyeliner right into my lash line, and these just work perfectly. They're beyond a normal pencil brush. They're a little bit smaller, just the functionality is so great, as it is with all of their eyeshadow brushes. I just really, really have been loving this brand. I'm sure I'll continue to love whatever they come out with this coming year, but I had to give them a shout out. And something else that I continue to use in 2021 extensively here at my makeup table is the Sigma Switch that they launched earlier this year. Both sides are the same. You can basically clean the pigment off of your brushes, face brushes, eye brushes as you're working, so you don't have to rinse them off. It works better than just like a paper towel. I got asked the first time I shared this how I dealt with the bottom side if I flipped it over. I just turn it over. I've never really worried about it. I have a white table here. It's never destroyed my white table. You know, if I'm worried about it, I'll put a Kleenex underneath it or a paper towel. But this is really handy, and I love the different textures for the different types of brushes. And it's silicone, which means it's really easy to clean too. This might be my longest video of this series. I feel like I've been talking for a year. If you haven't seen my best face products, foundations, concealers, that type of thing, I'll link that video here for you, as well as my top 10 drugstore purchases of 2021. I hope you enjoyed this and found it helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.